Hi guys, it's Dave with T2HTML.com. It's January 23rd, 2015, and we are going to be releasing Theme2HTML version 2 here on Monday or Tuesday. So let me just reiterate because it's important. Right now it's Friday, January 23rd. We'll be issuing licenses on Monday or Tuesday. Okay, so that's just after the weekend. The weekend's starting, so just a few more days. And if you want to go see what we have right now, just to get a clue, okay, what it's going to look like and feel like already, what you're going to be getting already, you can go here and take a look at the themes that exist. It's going to be released with several themes. Of course, we're going to get around to making them mobile ready soon. We haven't attached it yet because first we're getting the rest of the functions in place so that when we do go mobile ready, we'll have all that done. I just want to show you through this real quick. By the way, the reason we put this on a different website with an odd name is just because we're actually creating a version that's probably going to be white labeled. So that's possible for you to see white labeled versions, or possible for you to have a version that's white labeled for your own use because of everything we're building in. This is really going to make it possible for you to become your own full-scale website designer. We're going to have .T2H2 files, much the way that we have .T2H files right now, so that you can send entire projects to other people and they can upload them and immediately they work. You're going to be able to export the versions of the websites. They're going to be .html. They're going to be HTML pages, .html. The whole thing. By the way, this is built on, and just real quick, just so I got on record here so it's clear, the most modern standards of this, HTML5, okay, that's what's going on these days, and CSS3, these are huge, and Bootstrap, okay. Now, if you want to know anything about HTML5, CSS3, or Bootstrap, go to YouTube. YouTube's a university, and go look up HTML for beginners, HTML5 for beginners, whatever. CSS3 training, you know, Bootstrap training series, anything like that. And you're going to be able to get a clue what this stuff is, and it just helps you understand what we're working with. But it's really awesome because it's incredibly modern. Now, the other thing that's really, really important about it is this. This is going to be W3C compliant in every way. And here's the point of that. Most people have coding errors on their websites, right? Because most people don't know much about website design. And so they've always had coding issues. You know, when you go and look up websites and you run them through a checker, the checker will say, wow, there are a lot of errors and warnings on this page. And some of them are caused by the same thing. You can get 2 or 3 different errors for the exact same reason. Well, most websites are like that. And everyone thought, doesn't that lower your rank? Well, in the old days, Google always tried to it figured that you were going to make mistakes. Coding's not intuitive, right? Obviously, it's not. And no one can intuitively recognize better coding versus worse coding without, learning all this stuff first. And by the way, the reason we built Theme2HTML2 is so you don't have to learn this stuff, okay? You don't have to learn this stuff. It's just kind of interesting to find out what you have available to you. That's the only reason you would go look at this, to understand what makes HTML5 different from HTML. What makes CSS3 different from CSS? What is Bootstrap? It's kind of interesting just to know these things, but you don't need to learn them. Now, W3C compliance is changing. Google is starting to realize that because these things make website development easier and easier and easier. In other words, it is easier to make a website like this now, okay, with all these functions, than it was to make a website like this just a few years ago, okay? This used to be much harder to code, okay, than this is now as far as coding goes, okay? That's what's changed, all right? And so now that that's true, now that there are these standards that we can work with to make things better than they used to be and more efficient and easier than they used to be, then Google cares more about the cleanliness of coding. So what we're doing with Theme2HTML2 is making sure that it is completely W3C compliant. Some of you guys know the standards. For instance, any kind of a jQuery call, if you have a jQuery call, it should be at the bottom of the HTML file, not the top, so that the whole website can load before the jQuery commands kick in. And that way, when they go looking at the rest of the web page, everything is loaded already. It can know that everything is there. Same with the JavaScript call, right? And let's go further. If you're on a mobile phone, you don't want lots of animation elements to just kick in, because as much as you might dream of that, it's very hard for phones to handle. So our admin panel should allow us to turn off animation for mobile phones. We should be able to have that choice. Okay, so things that make coding better, like minifying files and compressing them, is exactly what's happening in Theme to HTML version 2. And also because this is not a replacement for Theme to HTML, then we're also reverse engineering the coding on Theme to HTML. So we're going to have a new version come out soon. Like 1.13 will be next, and it'll probably have a lot of minification or be fully minified when it comes out, so that the coding is dramatically cleaner yet. Just to reiterate, in the old days, Google didn't really care about the errors you had on your site, and so no one really cared about them. As long as Google could figure out what the website was about, it wasn't a big deal, because Google expected the errors and it built its system to recognize and overcome errors all the time. If you forgot a double quotes at the end of something and you closed the tag and continued, Google's system would notice that because you closed that tag, there should be double quotes there, and it would just like shadow copy that in for you and continue to evaluate the page. All right. Now it's looking for you to improve your coding, and so we have to do that. And by the way, that gives us a huge advantage. The people who bother to do that can get a much better ranking effect, simply because their coding is going to be modern, more clean, and the kind of thing that Google likes to see. It makes Google's job easier moving forward, and it does look good, right? Now, why does Theme to HTML2 not replace Theme to HTML? Because there are times when this is going to create more money than the equivalent theme over here. Okay, and just to iterate that, I would say this: if you're a plumber, people are not coming to your website because they're looking for good art. They're coming because they're looking for a solution. And when you have it laid out just like this, in your video and so forth, and your tags, your social media right here, things like this absolutely do the job. They do that job. Okay, I can see what I'm looking for. I can find what I need to find rapidly. I don't have to scroll down. I don't have to go digging at all. It's right in front of my face. So when you're looking for extremely fast solutions, this is going to make more money than the equivalent theme. Okay, very often. So you got to think about that. But if you're a highline dentist, you really want to put on a good display as a dentist, and you're going to therefore probably want the newer version of a website. Okay, because the dentist is trying to say, welcome to our practice. They're not trying to say, oh, if you need braces, click here. If you need dental implants, click here. Okay, so it's just different, right? Which you choose depends on what you're doing. Now, there are dentists using this, and they're using this effectively, okay? But really, it's a case-by-case basis. And you could make the argument that a plumber can be better served with one of these, especially if the plumber has a well-known brand name and they're really just trying to play up on the quality of their shop. Okay, without further ado, let me just point this out. You can come check out these themes, right? These are going to be released for you to start playing with. Now, like I said, we're probably going to get around to white labeling this stuff, but of course we're going to start off with our own. It won't start off mobile ready, but it will become mobile ready. Now, I just want to start walking you through some of the features really quick. So let me just do this. Let me move this over here, move that next, and then close the themes to the right. Okay, tabs to the right. Now, we got different themes we put up only for the reason of testing different features. And this right now, we actually just took it back down because all we wanted was this. We tested this feature. And so forget about this for the moment. That's really the dental theme. But we were trying to come out with a list of themes buying a login. So take a look. I mean, you could buy, and this means you can attach this to your own PayPal account. Okay. Later, you're going to be able to attach it to other payment mechanisms. Do we really need to have a big old form like this? No, but we're making it optional, however many fields you want to add and what those fields are. So we just put it in to test how many fields we could handle, make sure we could handle a lot of fields like this. Okay, and you can't buy it. It goes to a sandbox. Don't even try to buy it. It's not real. Okay, it's not real. There's a login. So take a look at this. The ability to log into the back end of a website to get at the logged in content, we're thinking ahead already. So we're building this in because this is going to become important. Some of you guys need this. You need your members to pay to get access to the inside. And some of you are going to want to pay for or have people pay recurring payments like monthly payments to continue to maintain access to the inside. So if they miss a payment, it should block their access, put them into a suspended state or something. And if they start paying again, it should, for instance, reopen their account so they didn't lose anything. They just get to continue now. All right, so these are options that you have, if the guy misses a payment, if you want to block or delete their account and they have to start over. Those are options, okay? But we're already thinking about it. I'm just letting you know we're already thinking about it, okay? So what else? Let's start with this real quick. I just want to walk through some features real fast. Things like this are incredibly easy to control. You just decide how it's supposed to zoom in, slide in, or whatever you want, and it'll do it, okay? And you've got your options for things. See how these spin? This is just an effect, okay? A completely cool effect that you can choose to apply, okay? Now, let me just show you another one. If I were to come back, if I were to click on this, what do we have here? Okay, different layout just so you can see how that looks. Okay, now check this out. Two things I want to point out. See that? All right. Remember we were talking about this block and that this is actually not so complex? Really on the inside, you choose an icon from a huge list of icons. You choose the size and the color. Okay, and then you choose the number it walks up to and you choose what this block is called. Well, in this case, reviews. So we had 47 reviews. So we introduced this block because we had some stats. For example, you have the numbers or appropriate numbers. That'll work. And so we said, since we have one called reviews, we know we have reviews, feedback, analytics, recommendations. You know, for example, these are the numbers. And so let's go find icons that work. So we found an icon that works from reviews from this huge list of icons you already have available in the backend. And then we said feedback, and we found a good icon for that. Analytics, found a good icon for that. And we said, okay, icon, number, title, icon, number, title, icon, number, title. And that's all it took. All it took, it's plug and play. And so then when you do this, it does all the rest for you. Now, see the guy in the background. Do you see how the image moves? That's there. We have three choices, scroll, fixed, or parallax. If the image was set to scroll, then it would move exactly with the page. It would move just like it was flat, as though there was no effect. It would move just like this image moves with the page, exactly with the page, up and down. Okay. Now, if it was set to fixed, the image would be perfectly still, and this would zoom above and below it, but the image would not appear to move at all. When it's set to parallax, it just moves at a much slower speed, like 1/5 the speed of everything else, or 1/4 or 1/3. Really, when you set it to parallax, parallax sees where the top of the image really is behind the scenes and where the bottom of the image really is and figures out how fast it's supposed to scroll to reach between the top and the bottom depending on the size of the screen looking at it. Can you believe that? That's cool, isn't it? And that's already built in. It's something you can just choose, fixed, scroll, or parallax. You just flip the switch and choose it, okay, for any image, any section. All right, so then we got the rest of this. All this, like I say, is going to be available to you. All these things you can choose. By the way, you can make forms, make as many as you want, add the fields to them however you want, flip them on or off. Okay, I'm just letting you see the whole Google map. You know how it was done? You just, in one section, you just type in the address and hit go. Okay, and it says, okay, fill the container with the Google map. Okay, and that's it. Just put the middle of it right where it's supposed to be. And that's it. So it's incredibly easy to import a Google map. You don't have to go get the coding from Google Maps. You just type in the address or type in the latitude and longitude if you have it. Okay, and all the rest of this is easy. Let me show you more effects. Okay, so let's see, take a look at this, all right? Awesome, isn't it? For those of you who like this kind of a thing, it's there. All right, if I were to just scroll down, you can see how this looks. Yeah, we have the slider banner, and you can build many groups of slider banners that you can plug or play into different pages, so you can have different ones available all the time. And yeah, things like this are simple. You know, you've got the image, and then you've got for your overlay. The overlay is automatic, for instance, and you put in the title, the description, and the button, the wording, the icon from the icon bank, and where it's supposed to go. Okay, and you can choose the color of the button. Okay, so all of this is simple, really, and that's cool. What else? You know, you can add sections. There's a drag and drop facts section, and you just decide how many facts and what your title is for the fact, what the answer is, the color of the box when it's clicked on. Okay, and that's simple. All right, it's really, really easy for you to do. Latest news. Here's the image. It automatically applies the date or in whatever format you want. You choose the title, the paragraph print, and the read more where it's supposed to point. Same for clicking on the title or clicking on read more, it'll go there to read more. Okay. So all of these things are very easy to control effects. See this? My icons at the bottom are moving. And not only are they moving, I can click on any one of them to go to whatever web page it was sent to go to. Like this one's set to go to Facebook. This is set to go to Yahoo. You know, I can just click it. And there's Yahoo. You know, whatever links you want them to go to. Okay. Now, again, all this is going to be available Monday or Tuesday. You're going to be able to get in. We're going to be adding a gallery, full-scale gallery with all the zoom and pan options and clickable links to different places. We're going to add an affiliate system. So can you imagine if you use the catalog system and upload a catalog of items, maybe you have 10,000 items for sale. You can do that easily, and you can apply. Another thing that we're adding is a shopping cart. So people can pick and choose and add to the cart the items you have in your catalog, and then they can buy them. Well, do you know what? We're also going to have an affiliate system attached, and either you can sign up affiliates, and when people buy from the affiliates, they get a commission and you get paid. Or you can apply coupon codes to individuals, and they can send people to the main page of your site to buy, but apply a coupon code. And if they apply a coupon code, well, that's their personal coupon code. You assigned it to them in the system. And you assign how much it knocks off from the price. It gives a discount to the buyer if they use the coupon code, and how much it pays them as a commission, right? So you're going to have access to that. Now keep in mind how cool this is, because you're also going to have the ability to export these websites, and they will be HTML websites, same as with Theme2HTML. Of course, there'll be HTML5 websites with CSS3 and Bootstrap and everything, okay, when they're exported. They will be modern, completely modern, but they'll be regular, static, hard-coded HTML websites with all of the effects that you would want on this working just fine. Okay. For those of you who didn't know, that's HTML. It's just the modern version of HTML. Okay. And with the affiliate system, with the gallery, with the shopping cart, team members, let me point that out. That's kind of an interesting concept. Matter of fact, let me close these out for a minute. Close the tabs to the right. Let me show you this one real quick. Check this out. Highline Dennis, nice effects. You can scroll down and continue to see nice effects kicking in. This is cool, isn't it? You can choose all these things and what's supposed to happen. And again, you can make blocks like this to plug and play on any website you want, and then adjust them individually. Now, let me show you one more thing. You know, here's our, in this case, what do you think that is? Fixed scroll or parallax? If you look closely, it cannot be scroll, because when I'm scrolling, it does not scroll. But it's not parallax either, because it doesn't move at all. The image does not move in the background. Obviously, we need a bigger image for this. It's got to be full screen image. Here's the bottom of it. And when I scroll to the top, here's the top of it. So it's got to be big enough to fill up the entire screen behind the scenes, right? Okay. So this is called fixed. It's not parallax because it doesn't move at all. It doesn't move 1/5 the speed of the rest of the page. It's simply fixed. It doesn't move at all. Okay. But the other effects happen right on top of it as nicely as you want them to, right? You see that? Let me refresh one more time. There you go. All right. Now, another thing I want to point out, really huge stuff. Some of you may or may not understand. When you are externally linking to other Highline sites, this increases the value of your site in Google's eyes. It gives you a lot more clout. You get a lot more rank because you link to other huge websites that are related. That's very good for you to do when you do it. So you put their icon and you link to them, and that's good for your website. Makes your website more important. I'll give you another one. We've got, of course, the social media embedded here for this website for these guys, but guess what's even better? Okay. See this? Here's their doctors, okay? Whoever they are. I mean, we plug and play these things, right? And if you hover over any of these, it gives you a little more information. Now, obviously, this is sample data. It's not real. But when you hover over it, here's another thing. See that? Facebook, Google+, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And same for this person, except that's this person's information, then this person's information, and that person's information. You know how much better it is for your website to do this still? Because Google can read and understand this sort of use of containers and this very clearly subset groups of person by person by person. Google sees that these are different things. Now, you might not do this with dentists. It doesn't make so much sense with dentists, although if you are a dentist and you can do this and you don't mind doing this for your dental hygienist, it's good for your rank. But if this was a gym and these were the fitness trainers, you know how fitness trainers really rely on gathering their own groups? Well, you're helping them, right? They're, 20-year-old kids. Whether they work for you or run off and work somewhere else, they bring their people with them because it's really true. The gym knows it is the person, the fitness trainer, that that their subscribers are mostly interested in. And so if they move, they're probably bringing their people with them anyway. But if they come, they're probably bringing their people with them anyway, if they come to work for you. So what you want to do is make their lives easier and cooler by having an excerpt on the page for them. By the way, what if you only had 3 instead of 4? That's simple. On this block, you would just change the number 4 to 3, and this would fill it out appropriately for 3 instead of 4. The images would be larger if they can be larger, because these are automatically sized down because they're bigger images, but they're sized down to fill the block properly. Okay? So widths and heights are set on them to size down to fill the block properly. Okay? And if you choose 4, then it makes the images smaller and makes room for 4. You could go 5, you could go 6. And these can be styled differently. You don't really see the buttons so well. That's just the way it was done in this case. But in another case, I forget where, we have something similar to this happening. And the buttons are very easy to see. Anyway, that's really kind of what I want to say about these things right now. It's just that all this stuff is extremely easy for you to get your hands on and study and read and watch and get into. By the way, let me just show you an example of functionality in the back end. If I log in, okay, and I go to which theme, let's say this one, okay, watch this. Whenever you're logged in and you see all your stuff in the back end, okay, and all this stuff is going to be coming out, more available to you soon. Okay, we're just going to auto update it in the back end and tell you what new functions you have. All right, now let me point this out. When you're on the front end, everything is immediately editable by clicking the appropriate edit button for the section you want to edit. See the little line form around here? Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't on the recording, but these are all editable. And doing forms in the back are editable. You can do multiple forms and do what you want with them. See how cool and easy it is to edit anything that way. Okay. Now, having said that, watch this. Let's just say when you're looking at this, you want to make some changes to it. Okay. Let's just say I want to edit something like, not this really, not the element inside the block. I want to edit the whole block. Okay. So if I go there, watch this. It's going to bring up the block I clicked on. I could just close it. That might not be the block I want. Here's how this works. This is called a container. The big red line, it's the same as this. That's another container and another container. You just add containers by pressing the button and a new one appears. Okay. Then you choose whether you want the container to go full width, or if you're dealing with a left sidebar or a right sidebar, and it will create that effect automatically. Then you can edit your container if you want to put a background image in the container and if you want it to have parallax or not. Take a look. The background image is the image. Okay, that's this big image here. Okay, now we say don't repeat it, stick in the center. We can have it scroll. So when you move the page down, it moves down with, or it moves exactly with the page. Okay. Again, we could flip it to fixed or parallax. Okay. Now, should it be parallax? Should it be fixed? You just choose. Okay. Fixed, scroll, parallax goes on or off. That's really it. Now, I don't really know what the real dimensions of that image are because I haven't thought about it. Let me try fixed. I don't know if we can do it right now or not, but if I scroll down and save it, it's just what I want to mean by that's how easy it is to control the effects. Watch this. Let's see. Okay, yeah, look at that. Now it's fixed. See? That's how easy it is. Whoops, I did that. I flipped it. Oh, also notice how the header comes down. Have you seen that on like almost all the themes? Look at that. When you start here, the block is right here. That's the header block you want to roll with you. That's an effect you can choose to have. Now it sits there and always follows the page down, so you have it. So you can put whatever options in there you want. Call me, email us, click on these major themes, buy now, whatever it is. So it comes down with you on the entire page with the cool, transparency effect, right? That's true for like all the themes. They're all doing that if you hadn't seen it before. Okay, now here's the point I want to make beyond that. Take a look at this. As a matter of fact, let me edit that again. Let me turn that off because maybe I don't want it. It doesn't matter if you want it or not, but I want to just show you something else. So now if you make a change, still you have to scroll down and hit save. That reminds you it's themed to HTML. We're going to put the button up here, make it possible for it to appear, roll with. Here's the thing. Whatever you clicked on to edit on the front end, that's what it turned red in the back end, so you can know it's this container you're working in and that element you're working on, okay? Because when you add a container, then you can click the plus sign to add elements. Look at all the choices of kinds of elements you can add. You can add chart pie, like a pie chart, and you could say, I want 4 sections on the pie chart. I want one to be 25%, one to be 12%, one to be 37%. I want it color-coded red, yellow, green, blue. I want each pie chart called, each section of the pie called a different name. And if you click on one of them, it pulls away a little bit from the rest of the pie so you can see it more clearly. Something could pop up when you hover over it. And so you don't have to code it, you just add it. You just add the element and size it to the right size. And it's simply just add these. You click on them to add them like a Google map. And then you just plus or minus the display to get it to the right size. And you can move them around. Here, let me show you something even easier before that, right? Forget about the element for a minute. Let me just refresh the page, okay. All right, watch this. This is something I want to show you first, all right? Because it's like the easiest thing to understand. Okay, see how we have the image here and then below it, these 3 things, okay? What if I want to make calling the first thing and I want to put this in the middle, say, or something? I can do that. So like in the back end, I can just take the one that it is. It happens to be these 3 service items here. I can sort of realize that. I can drag it over, okay? I can drag that one over. If it doesn't go, I'll just drag that one over, okay? And I can hit save. And then come back and refresh. And again, look at the order. We've got open Monday to Friday comes first, and then email and then phone, right? There it is. That's how easy it is to change these things around. What about this? The whole image section with the contact us now versus this stuff down here. Watch this. If you hadn't seen it, watch this. Not only are the elements something you can move around in any combination, but the whole containers are as well. Look at this. See that? Now what happens if I save it? And I come back. Now look again. Refresh. Look at that. So you can make these effects act any way you want. Any of these sections can be dragged down, like halfway down the page. You could put this whole thing halfway down the page if you want. You understand? that's the kind of flexibility you have. All these things you can move up or down at will in any combination, in any order to get the right effects in the right orders. Whatever it is you want to do on the whole page. So it's not just the left sidebar anymore. You know, when you're saving the sort order in the left sidebar, now it's the entire page. You can move anything anywhere. Forms in the back end. I want to show you this. If you hit build forms, you can show all or add a form. Let's show all. We got some forms. Let's just see what one looks like, because you can just add a new form. Okay, just like you can add new containers with sections and elements in them. Look at this. You want to build a form? You can drag and drop sections into it: text, paragraph, checkboxes, multiple choice, date, drop-down menu, time, number, a website link, email address, and a button like Submit Now. And you can build your form that way, and you can save it. You can enable CAPTCHA by yes or no, and you can come out with the title of your form and the subject for the email, where it goes, what email address here, what email what the one guy sees, what the other guy sees, and continue. Success and error message submit. So you can create forms, you can duplicate forms, you can even edit fields that already exist. So it's completely up to you how you want to do the form. All right, let's take a look. If we show all the forms again, forgot password is a form. That's simple. We say is just simple. What other forms show all? Let's see, appointment, and you can just do all these. You can edit them, type text, label. It's very simple to create these forms. Okay. What else? News section. You just add the sections. Add new fields and sections. It's similar. Show all. Oh, here we go. And these act like the service sliders in a way. You can turn on news items, turn them off. You can put them in categories. So if you put a whole news category in, it knows what to put in. This category or that. You choose from a drop-down box when you add the category. Sliders. Okay, very similar. Show all. Sliders, they act like the service sliders, and they're very similar. Similar concept. Products, if you want to add products, I can show all of the products. Okay. And you can upload a list is where we're going with this. You're going to be able to just upload a database listing. It's going to say what's the title link, what's the image link, what's the URL, whatever it is. And it'll just create them. Which brand, which category does your item go in? And so these brands are really categories. That's the idea. And you can flip them on or off. If you're out of stock, you can flip one off. Okay. Partners. That also acts like categories. Okay. Manage categories. And you can decide what you're doing with the categories you have, or in the case of partners, well, show all. It's this kind of an idea, right? You just add these things in, add in the links. Team members, right? Same kind of thing. Show all. And you can add the individuals, and you can decide what each of their links are supposed to be. And you can flip them on or off. Anything you don't add in, it just won't show the icon, right? And you just add each individual, and you can add new, and you can sort them differently and save the sorting, okay? That's how cool this is. And everything else is coming along. We've got settings, we got global variables. The settings you recognize, they're all the stuff we've had in Theme2HTML. For adding a logo or anything else, it's right here. Global variables, if you want to put them in, you can put them in and just come up with them. Media, you can already have your media library with all of your images available. You can even drag and drop new images in. And not just that, but if you take an image, even like a large one or something, and you just say, show me, there's everything you can do with it here. What do you want it called? And whenever you add it to a website, what should the alt text for the image be? Well, here you go. You just add it. This is your SEO elements. We added some more blocks, but we haven't decided what to do with them yet. We can later. Should the image naturally be left, center, or right? If you put none, it just leaves it up to the page, leaves it up to what else you do in the background for the theme elements, however it is that you control them in the back end. Like when you add it in here, you can decide. Okay. But you can also decide whether the natural size of the image should be a certain size. Okay. And so you just save your information and you have it available all the time. Okay. And so the same thing with everything else. Okay. Now, you don't just have to add into your media library images. It's just that images have been added so far, but you can also upload videos, and it'll show as videos, like little rolling videos and so forth. And that way you can add those rolling videos in also. You can just apply one of those from the media library so that you have the little video that plays in the background here instead of an image. And you'll have people walking through or people talking to each other, whatever it is for one of those rolling videos. And it'll do its job in the background while the rest of the page is in the front. So all the options are available to you. Okay. All right. Well, we're releasing soon. We're going to be adding new features as we go. You have a lot of availability coming to you, and you can go preview. And if I were you, I'd get it now while it's still cheap before Monday or Tuesday hits and we're ready to launch, because it's going to be the last chance to buy it at the lowest possible prices. And so if you want to get it, you want to come to our purchases page and scroll down slightly. And here it is, T2H2. See which option fits you. If you are just if you do not have theme to HTML, then you're going to want to buy the option that has both, because this is the way the pricing goes right now. Do you want both theme to HTML and T2H2? That's this price. Okay. If you are not a T2H owner, this is the price you pay to get this, T2H2. If you are a T2H owner, you've already been helping us back our developments, okay? Then you have the right to a huge discount on the theme to H2. All right, and so you get it for about half the price of somebody who has not bought either version. And that's perfectly fair, right? You already paid what? Probably 200 bucks for theme to HTML. So now when you pay for this, it's $345 altogether. Somebody who's not a theme to HTML owner, if they just want T2H2, it's $290, but that's fair. And then if you want both T2H and T2H2, it's just $325. And if I were you, I'd get it now, because all those prices are going to go up after we release. This is as modern as a website gets. Okay, it's got all the features of fully modern websites with affiliate system, gallery, shopping cart, and other things coming, like a blog function. People have been asking about that. Even an overlay that you can plug in that says, want this page, buy it, or something, whatever you want it to say, so that they can click it to buy a page that is sort of deactive until they pay for it, right? Or they can reapply their subscription payment to make it available again. Things like that are for you to make choices about, okay? And you can export the sites and sell them on Flippa, or sell them to guys who could use them. Do whatever you want, but you can make all these modern sites and more with relative ease. The options are easier than you probably ever thought, and you're doing it for an incredibly cheap price. So yeah, get it now while you can. Get it from our purchases page. Here it is. Control C, just in case you haven't seen it before. It's kind of like the last chance this weekend to buy at the best possible pricing. All right, and that's website-marketing-solutions.com. Okay. /services/purchases.html. I'm sure I'm going to have that link in an email or whatever, but if you don't see it, okay, if you see this video first, this is the page, okay? Or all you have to do is just go to the front end, website-marketing-solutions.com. Just go there, okay? It's our oldest site. We haven't done anything new with it for a long time, but this is where we put all the stuff for sale. So just hit strong tools, okay? And when you hit it, okay, there you go. By the way, all these theme to HTML2 sites are going to be Moji ready, just like anything else. Any kind of print, any kind of thing. If you want the logo to be Moji, you could do it. If you want this verbiage to be Moji, you could do it. If you want the phone number to be Moji, you could do it. Okay, and that's the advantage of global variables anyway, that you can make obvious things like the phone number, what the starting day is and the ending day, and the starting time and the ending time, email addresses. You can make all of that variable in the back end. So you can just change those things in one place and it will affect all the pages of the website in that one place, okay? And so there you go. It's all available to you. All right, I hope you find this interesting and understand what's going on. We've got a lot coming and a lot more coming. When you buy, you get free upgrades for a year. After that, there's going to be some nominal reapplication fee for all the websites that you create and export. Of course, you don't have to pay any kind of a re-app fee for those. Those are already created and exported and they exist. There's no worries about websites you create. If you don't pay for an upgrade, it won't knock anything out of your control. You'll still have access. You just won't get the new upgrades, and you won't be able to do much more until you pay the re-app. But the re-app will be some fair, reasonable price. What you will have, of course, is every website you export. Those, when you export them and sell them to clients or something, if you can't pay the re-app, it's not going to affect anything for them. I mean, all those produced websites, those HTML-ready websites that are produced, they're done. There's no reason that you should pay a re-app for them. Those are done. Any website you export and make live is free as a bird, just so you know. All you would continue paying a re-app for is the additional functionalities to keep producing new websites or controls over your website, right? Okay, hope you enjoy this and you see what's coming. I can't wait. We're going to be launching Monday or Tuesday. I cannot wait for your feedback on this, and we're going to have an instant feedback option in the panel, so that we'll know, where am I? In the admin panel, like pretty much any page you're on, we're going to know when you click the instant feedback button, what page you're on in the admin section, and whatever question you have or feature request you want to add, you just put that into the feedback and hit go. And on our end, we're going to watch all that feedback, all your comments. Hey, I couldn't understand how to do something when I added an element. I added it, I did what I thought I should do with it, but it's not working right. I don't know why. Great, we can take a look at that and we can get back to you and we can do something to improve the system to make it more obvious. Add another help topic or a video or something to clarify that, or fix something if it's not working. Just let us know. If you have a feature request and you're like, "Oh, this is awesome, but can you add one of these?" Let us know. That way we can do something like that. There are many options and we can add many more. And there's many options here and we can add many more. Okay? So anything that comes to mind, bring it up. We're taking care of our guys and we aim to make this the best CMS on the planet. This, coupled with having the theme to HTML, the standard normal theme to HTML choice also, gives you a tremendous amount of power. Work with a few guys and you are a full-scale website design company. If you want to be, you can do it just by having this tool and learning how it works. You can make the best websites anyone can make and sell them for whatever prices you want. Okay? And if you want to build themes and sell them through our marketplace, we're going to make that available. All right? And you can build themes and sell them elsewhere too. You can literally do it for any prices you want. You can upload them wherever themes can be sold. And you can even flip finished websites and sites like Flippa, or go to ThemeForest to sell themes you have, whatever you want to do. So this is an incredibly powerful tool, and you should really like what you can do with it. Okay, thanks for your time, and we'll be talking more again soon. Take care.